round of voting being counted there, and indications clearly, which seems to suggest a foregone conclusion in favor of Madam Murmu. But I want to, with what Rahul Srivastava was saying, I want to bring in S.V. Ramani again. S.V. Ramani, the fact is, where does the opposition's game plan lie here? Because let's even look at the tribal vote. Not just representation in the form of the likes of the president, but even inception of trying to, do the better of the lot where tribals are concerned. The BJP is playing on a completely different pitch.
See, as far as the selection of the BJP candidate was concerned, without any disrespect to the newly elected president, I entirely agree with Rajdeep in the fact that it was a strategic decision to file to a candidate from the tribal community. Now, if you look at the tribal states, if you look at Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Odisha, West Bengal, Jharkhand, and to some extent Chhattisgarh, almost all these states are not in BJP's hands. They are all, one is ruled by YSR Congress, other, by our Patnaik ji, other is by West Bengal, by Madam. So entirely, if you look into this, the BJP had a strategic field that, yes, I will file a tribal so that, there could be, first of all, when they started the election.
Mr. Ramani, let me correct you that the fact is that in the 2019 Lok Sabha elections, the majority of the ST reserved seats were won by the BJP. And the BJP got 40% share
31 or 47.
Which was more than 6% compared to 2014. 2014 they had 34% vote share. By 2019 it had reached 40%. That's a huge vote share. So the BJP's vote share in tribal, in fact, one of the features, Preeti, of that 2019 election was that the BJP did much better in rural and semi-rural constituencies than they did in urban constituencies of this country, purely in terms of vote share. So there is as Rahul said, a demographic shift taking place in the BJP's coalition, and Droupadi Murmu's ascent in a way mirrors that change. Both in terms of, Rahul was discussing with us earlier this year, the number of OBC ministers in the Modi government. More than 25 OBC ministers 27 OBC ministers in this government, and you've got a large vote share coming from OBCs, SC, STs, rural areas. And that is reflective perhaps in this presidential election.
But at least there's a rethink. There's a rethink if you look at it, even with the tribal states that Mr. Ramani just named, Chhattisgarh, earlier on, in various of these other states, the representation, or even in Jharkhand, you've had people which are non-tribals. In Chhattisgarh, you put a non-tribal, but you've had a rethink since then.
Very interesting that in Jharkhand, the BJP government by Raghuvar Das
was
voted out primarily because of the tribal, anti-tribal sentiment. And at that time, when the law was revoked, do you know who was the governor of the state? It was Droupadi Murmu. Interesting that the BJP has caught that sentiment. It is ready to make mistake, correct its mistakes.
Yes.
It's going into territories where it is not gone. Now, if Mamata Banerjee today is announcing 9th as a tribal day, why couldn't Mamata do it earlier? Or the
Why is there a rethink?
do it earlier? I think they're making amends.
Exactly. I want to bring in Mr. Dev.
But let's be fair, Rahul. The fact is, there Mr. Ramani has a point. These were traditional Congress areas. The ST reserve constituencies for decades used to be dominated by the Congress. What is happening step by step, the BJP is looking for potential constituencies which were once Congress.
I want to just bring in Mr. Dev.
Gujarat is the next big state, where, which is going to the polls in December. There are parts of Gujarat with strong tribal pockets.
Karnataka as well, which is going to vote next year.
Which were traditionally dominated by the Congress, where the BJP has made significant gains in recent times.
I want to bring in Mr. Dev. Mr. Dev, the fact is the rethink factor. Look at a mistake possibly that the BJP made where Jharkhand was concerned, and you appoint a Raghuvar Das as the chief minister. You understand he doesn't go well with the tribal population. You make a change there. There is representation, there is inception as well, where you seem to do better for the tribals. The rethink there, the sore point that Mamata Banerjee of all days today decided to appoint a tribal day on the 9th. Why?
Forget one thing, that since the last 1 decade, since Mamata Banerjee had been the chief minister of West Bengal, whatever Mamata Banerjee has done for the tribals, that is on record. She has done a lot of development work for the tribals, which was not done during the 34 years of left front regime. That is number one. Number two, with due respect to Srimati Droupadi Murmu, the president-elect, I would like to say that ultimate target of BJP is the tribal votes. BJP only concentrates on election, and we all know that 4 states are going for election between 2022 and 2023. These are Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, and Chhattisgarh and Gujarat. And most of these states have got 128 tribal seats, out of which in 2017 and 18, BJP could only win 35 seats. So they are concentrating only due to the vote bank, and their target is the tribal votes. And that is why I am again saying, with due respect to the president-elect, Srimati Droupadi Murmu, I would like to say ultimately it is the tribal vote bank